guys, my name's Leslie, and today we are going to talk about zero waste. The concept is as simple as it sounds. It's the idea of generating less and less waste until you get to zero. Zero going in the landfill. And until I had heard about this concept, it had actually never occurred to me that would even be a thing, that you would try to reduce your waste down to nothing. It doesn't seem possible. Even knowing about it and seeing some of the techniques and knowing what people are doing, it still seems like a pretty lofty goal, but it's a great goal to have nonetheless. So I first heard about it through watching a video by Bea Johnson. She is the author of Zero Waste Home. She has a family of 4 who started practicing zero waste, and they eventually got to the point where they create about 1 jar worth of actual trash that's going to go in the landfill every year. Super impressive, and she's actually not the only one. There are quite a few families that are able to practice this, so we know that it is possible. We just need to know how it's possible and how it's possible for us to participate in this. So watching her videos, a lot of light bulbs went off in my head as I realized some of the different things she's doing that are so easy, things that everybody can do quite easily that will actually make a huge difference in the world and what is going into our landfills. And I want you to remember that you don't have to be perfect. Don't let the idea of perfection scare you away from the concept completely. All you have to do is take small steps in the right direction, and eventually you will be doing so much better than you ever thought you could. And it won't be hard, it will be easy. It's just making a habit of these things, getting accustomed to them, and they will become second nature. You just have to get to that point. And even if you don't feel like it's worth it, or you feel like you have failed when you're practicing it, any step you've taken in the right direction is still less waste, which is the goal of the whole thing in the first place. So one of the places to focus when you're thinking about zero waste is on voluntary simplicity. Less things coming into your life, less things to deal with. With zero waste, you want to bring in as little waste as possible in the first place. So even though getting started doesn't seem simple at all, that's actually what you're looking toward. That's one of the goals with it, is this voluntary simplicity, that you want to live a more simple life and be creating less waste overall and have less coming into your home. Voluntary simplicity may seem like a challenge in this fast-paced world, but by trying to stay mindful and calm throughout the day, you can relax into that voluntary simplicity with a lot more ease. And we can ease into that zero waste concept. You don't have to take every step all at the same time. You don't have to go from what you're doing now to completely zero in no time flat. You're not failing by generating waste. You want to minimize that waste and make it less and less over time. And by doing that, you are hitting the goal of zero waste, even if you're not to zero. It is okay if you don't ever get to zero. You still can be successful doing it just by minimizing it as much as you can in your lifetime. As you practice, it will become easier, and as more people practice it, it will become easier in our society, because what we really need is a cultural shift. It can be hard to go out and buy things without packaging and stuff like that today because of the society we live in today. As more people practice a zero waste lifestyle, it will spread. People will see you bringing your same cup everywhere you go instead of buying bottled water. They'll see you taking bags to the store instead of using the bags that the store gives. It makes people think about what they're doing and what they should be doing. Imagine if there was no more demand for cheap plastic goods. They would stop making them because they aren't making any money off of them. The only reason they make this stuff is because there's people out there who buy it. So we have to stop buying some of this cheap plastic garbage that they're creating. If you are a mother, you should begin this with your children early on so that they can create these habits as they grow up. It's a lot easier to grow up with a habit and keep it going as you grow into adulthood than it is to become an adult and then try to backtrack and create new habits. So we want to start it from an early age. So if you are a mother, start with your children, start now. Remember that we only have so much room in our landfills, and the ocean itself is even filling up with garbage now. These are changes that have to be made. I want you to feel easy about it and to feel like you can baby step into it, but at the same time, it's something that has to begin. And the sooner we begin, the better. And the more of us that begin quickly, the easier it will be for everyone that comes behind us. I have a couple of statistics for you. According to the EPA, in 2013, Americans generated 254 tons of garbage. That's over 4.4 pounds per person per day. So now you know the average. So what we're looking for is to do less than that every day, continually going forward. Sometimes you might have more, sometimes less, but as we talk about more of the things you can do with zero waste, you'll see more and more of the ways that you can have less and always have less going forward. In 1960, it was only 88 million tons per year. So in like 50 years, we've tripled the amount of waste we're producing. So we were obviously going in the wrong direction, and we really need to backtrack, take it back, and see what we can do to change this. Now, I know that business and industry generate way more waste than the average consumer. However, as people, as individuals begin practicing these concepts, it will begin to seep into business culture as well, because you'll have the people that are in charge of the businesses and that are able to make changes within the businesses practicing this at home. And as they practice at home, they'll see what they can do within their business as well. So it's okay that we're starting with individuals, and it's okay to start small. I think sometimes when we look at the problems going on with the world, we get overwhelmed by how much of a problem there is. And what difference can I make? I'm just one person, and how much of a difference is me generating less waste going to make to the landfill? But it takes all of us doing our little bit to get there. And the more of us that can jump on board and make steady change, the quicker this will spread to other people, until eventually we will have a culture that is practicing more and more of these zero waste principles. In my next video, we will talk a little bit more about what you can do to get started practicing zero waste in your own home. If you'd like a PDF outlining the steps to get started with zero waste in your own home, please click on the link in the description below, and I will send you a PDF with some of those things that you can do, things that you can start doing. All right, see you next time. Bye.